Welcome back. It is the Budke Serna Classic as we are set for game 3. It's going to be South Plains College taking on Northwest Florida State. I'm Tim Howard. Let's go now to the likes of PA, our PA address announcer, as it's.
This matchup is between Northwest Florida State and South Plains College. Introducing the starting lineups.
Let's go to Stephanie Gady with the introductions.
From Tampa, Florida, number 1, Leah Davis. From Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 2, Destiny McCall. From Magnolia, Arkansas, number 11, Tyler McBride. From Lake Edgemoor, California, number 12, Maya Pierback. And from Paris, France, number 32, Celia Rivera. The Northwest Florida State Raiders are coached by Mark Walker, assisted by Zach Banks and Kia Sanders. And now introducing the starting lineup for the South Plains College Lady Texans. From Nigeria, number 1, Chisholm O'Rourke. From Lubbock, Texas, number 2, Debrea Blackwell. From New York, number 12, Shakira Fowles. From Brazil, number 15, Jennifer Silva. And from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 23, Isabella D'Amelio. The South Plains College Lady Texans are coached by Arbor Batten and assisted by Matt Kramer and Edward Elvis.
So, Mark, we've got the starting lineups announced. Mark McLean ready with your play-by-play this afternoon. What do you anticipate with this one? It should be a fun affair.
Yeah, it should be a really fun game for an early season contest. Northwest Florida State, the Raiders of Bart Walker, the defending national champions, number 1 team in the nation in the last NJCAA poll. South Plains, Ara Batten in his 4th season as their head coach, longtime West Texas head coach at Odessa, and now at South Plains, as he brings his team in here today. Lady Texans are 3-4 on the season. Always very competitive out in West Texas, so this ought to be a lot of fun. So glad to get this one underway here.
Absolutely.
South Plains, they are wearing the white, and they have the ball to our basket to our right. Missed the first shot, second shot. The follow-up is up and good for Shira Fowles.
Fowles with a big body down in the paint gets that one up and good.
And the bodies and the size might be a very good test for a Northwest Florida State team that usually has some decent size, but certainly a lot of great athletes as well. Shot for the Raiders on their first trip down the floor is no good.
Fowles with a rebound there.
Just underway here, 2-0. South Plains leads it. Lady Texans moving the ball around the court at the free throw line. Back up, shot on the way, no good for Isabella Jaramillo. Ends up going out of bounds. It'll be Northwest Florida State's ball.
So here Alizita with a shot kind of fading away there. Didn't really get her, excuse me, Isabella Jaramillo didn't really get her feet set. So she'd like to have another crack at that.
Northwest Florida State bringing the ball down the floor in the far corner. Shot up, no good for Maya Pierfax.
Well, I'll tell you that.
As the ball goes out of bounds.
That's going to be a fun one to watch here in isolation with Rivera and Silva banging down low. A couple of bigs in the paint.
Ball gets away from Northwest Florida State. South Plains brings it back down the floor in the white uniforms with the blue numerals and red trim. This falls way outside, and her shot is way off target.
Yeah, that wasn't really what they were looking for from her there.
Northwest Florida State, Jayla Davis quickly back down the floor, and the Raiders end up throwing it out of bounds. Northwest Florida State, and always a thrill to say this. Black uniforms with black numbers.
Spoken like a true play-by-play.
There is a white outline.
Yeah, what do we complain about? The good news is, though, we're courtside. We're not in a press box 50 feet, yes, 500 feet away,
that
right?
Is true. That is true.
But
still,
you're exactly right. I was thinking the same. I knew immediately where you were going from day one on that one.
Yeah.
That's tough. Tough call.
And you know, and years ago, I don't mind saying it. Years ago, I did some TAPS state championship games. For the TAPS state championship game, you did not sit courtside. You sat way up at the top.
Way up high.
And so after Midland Christian won their state championship, I went down the floor to congratulate the coach. And I told him, now that you've won the state championship, buy some new uniforms.
That's right.
Please.
I thought you was going to say midway through the first half, you had worked out a trade deal with a uniform shop.
No, I wasn't that fast, but I'll never forget it. White uniforms with white numerals and a blue trim
I think
on
I
their
called
uniforms.
that team. My goodness, yeah.
So anyway, so I'll have to have a talk with Bart Walker after this game is over as the shot is put up by Celia Rivera.
Rivera with a nice control there in the paint. Those two are going to be fun to watch.
Tell Coach Walker, come on now, you just won a national championship. You're second. Get some new uniforms.
Got those style points going here. They do look sharp though, man. You just don't want to have to try and call numbers on them.
Yep.
Here's a bounce pass down in the paint. Good ball movement here.
2-2 ball game. A little different pace to this game than what we've seen in the first two here today.
Yeah, they want to get up and down the floor, both of these teams. Not a lot to show for it, though, so far. Nobody's really converting.
Kind of feeling each other out here. 7 minutes to go, first quarter. 2-2 our score. Here's Fowles with a shot from way outside. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
a three-pointer for Sierra Fowles.
Fowles stepped into that and knocked it down. Big three from Sierra Fowles, 6'1" sophomore out of Harlem, New York.
Here's Northwest Florida State passing around the perimeter. Ball out front to Neva Scott. Cross court it goes to Pierfax. She drives, baseline, shot, rolls around the rim and decides it wants to go in.
Yeah, that ball had already come out the left side of the rim, went back up and through.
First two games of the day, that ball would have never gone in.
I would agree with you on that. That had a lot of English on it.
5-4 score in the lane. Shot up and good for South Plains. Jennifer Silva with the basket there.
Silva out of Brazil with the basket in the paint.
And talk about height and presence in the lane.
Oh, man.
That's Silva. Here's a shot from outside for Northwest Florida State. No good from Pierfax. Reaching over, though, trying to get the rebound.
Yeah, got to get her over the back. A little too aggressive on that rebound. She was out of position and tried to make something happen there. So
okay.
Good.
All right, you kind of catch me by surprise here. As Jaramillo gets charged with the foul, I thought for sure that was Pierfax going over the back.
Oh, man, me too.
I
got to actually look at what's happening in front of me because I was with you there.
So still Northwest Florida State ball. 7-4, South Plains leads. Another whistle blows prior to the shot. And a foul is called here on Debria Blackwell for South Plains. So that is her first.
5'3" guard. That was from Lubbock. So
South Plains, they average 73 points a ball game. Northwest Florida State averages 72.3 per contest. Raiders are 6-0 coming into the game here today. South Plains is 3-4. Rivera misses the first shot. Second one is good.
With the 5:51 here in the first, it is a 2-point contest.
And again for Northwest Florida State, came here last year, lost badly to Trinity Valley in the first round game, won the second day before they left town. But then they would see Trinity Valley, of all places, in Lubbock in the national championship game, and obviously won that one. Close.
Now, don't be surprised if these guys see each other. You know, some of these teams later on in the season, outside of Region 14 too. I mean, it's a lot of fun talent in this building over the next 2 days.
Well, and you get coaches like Bart Walker. Fortunately, I've had a chance to see him. This is the third year in a row. I kid him that this is my annual visit with him. As this is the third year in a row that I've seen him this time of year. He came to Panola, brought his team there a couple of years ago for a Thanksgiving deal. And then here last year and back here again this year. So he loves coming here for the competition. Yeah, no doubt about that.
As a little break in the action here, it's one of those opportunities. I think that one of the reasons most of these schools take advantage of it, they get to come and sharpen. Iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah,
kind of context, and that's the goal anyway. So, chance to see what happens here. Off to a good start, 7-5. As
4:50 to go here in this first quarter. Again, 7-5 South Plains leads it, but for Northwest Florida State, they enjoy coming here, and be interested to see and talk to the folks from Three Rivers. All right. We're still good on the wall over there, so
okay.
we're good to go. But yeah, so Three Rivers, be interested to see, talk to them maybe, and get their thoughts about coming here and playing here. And,
yeah,
because there's a lot of Region 14. Again, I'm interested in how this whole thing comes together and how it's set up, because you have these great teams from other states and other regions coming here, but you have just enough Region 14 teams. So I think somewhere along the way, obviously, it's important for Trinity Valley to host some teams from their own region and give them that competition as well.
Yeah, and I think that one of the interesting things about that is you're going to see some of these teams 3 times by the time you meet them up in a Region 14 tournament.
Yeah.
And then the added value of getting to sharpen your skills against someone outside the region as well. So it's a little bit of a, and from the fan aspect, you get to see a lot of good hoops over the course of 2 days.
After the timeout, Northwest Florida State got a steal, and then Chisholm Aguego gets charged with a foul. Already early in this game, we can see the ball handling skills of Northwest Florida State players.
Yeah, pretty good handles out there on the floor.
Quite different than what we've seen the first couple of games today. Jayla Davis out front, controls it, free throw line, comes near side with it in the corner, and a step and a travel. A little too quick there for Deborah Davenport.
Yeah, Davenport just checked into contest a couple of moments ago, so she's getting her first action of the afternoon.
South Plains basketball. Lady Texans at a Region 5, West Texas, level end. .354 to go here in this first quarter. Shot blocked, second attempt, no good for Yendria Costa. And here comes Northwest Florida State back down the floor. Raiders shot up, no good for Makia Chase. Offensive rebound though for Northwest Florida State. They'll hang on to it. Raiders again in black, shooting to the basket to our left. I think you're right as you look at it.
Got her camping in the lanes there, 3 seconds. So
which as fast as both these teams are and as much as they move, it's amazing that any player stood somewhere for 3 seconds.
I was going to say, that's an eternity between these two schools.
3:20 and counting here in the first quarter, 7-5 South Plains. Driving toward the baseline was Priscilla Baloa. And she is going to be fouled by Makia Chase.
Yeah, Chase a little too aggressive out front there. Gets called for her first foul of the afternoon.
Inbounds pass stolen away though by Northwest Florida State. Behind the back pass. Shot up for Chase is no good. Going to hit the bottom of the rim, but she was fouled on the play by Baloa.
So 2-point advantage here for South Plains. Trying to put it together this afternoon and put the first blemish on the record of Northwest Florida State.
Well, you know, and obviously for the Raiders and their program, as found out last year, if they lose here okay, better
Yep.
now than later.
That's right. Exactly right.
So they take it all in stride.
Absolutely. Yeah, seasons are not made in November.
For the free throws, Chase hit 1 of 2. 7-6 our score, 1 point South Plains lead. Ball over the far corner, now back out front to Fowles. Fowles will back up, put up the shot, no good. Offensive rebound missed by South Plains. Beloa couldn't get to it. Northwest Florida State does. Back down the floor, Raiders go far corner with it. Shot from the corner is up and good for 3 for Jayla Davis.
That was a nice touch there from the guard out of Tampa, Florida. Sophomore stepped into that one nicely.
9-7, Northwest Florida State leads it. Raiders lead for the first time today. Now an outside shot for South Plains. Misses everything, and the shot that was no good there for Yendri Acosta.
Yeah, Acosta comes up shooting a blank there.
It'd be interesting. I don't know. I haven't talked to these coaches or any of these teams about it, but the facilities that they play in, South Plains out in the Texan Dome, Northwest Florida State, they've got the arena there in Niceville, Florida. Be interested to see, does it take them some time to adjust in a gym
question.
like this?
Good thought. Up the floor. Inside 2 minutes to go first period.
South Plains basketball, Fowles again, has it outside, lobs down low. And for Jennifer Silva, she is going to be fouled on her way up for a potential shot. Deborah Davenport will pick up the foul, her first.
Yeah, Davenport kind of found herself in no man's land. They got it over to the top, and then she had to reach to either give up a easy layup or foul over the top. Thought she got all ball, but anytime you're reaching over like that, you're 99% of the time going to get called for the whistle.
There's Silva, hits first free throw. She averages just under 10 points a ball game, 35% from the free throw line. And her second shot is up and good as well.
Got that one to go, so that's big to tie this thing here in the first.
Tied at 9, second tie of the game. Here's Northwest Florida State, again shot from way outside for Davis for 3.
Davis a little bounce step there and got the 3 to fall.
Minute 25 to go here in the first quarter as the long dip pass down court ends up going out of bounds. Off of Northwest Florida State, it'll be South Plains ball.
Both teams exerting a lot of energy, just up and down pace here in this first. And you mentioned 73 and 72 points per game, respectively. They're going to get up and down the floor.
Minute 15 to go here in this first quarter. 12-9, South Plains leads it. Northwest Florida State with the steal and the layup. Micaiah Chase gets that, urges it to go over the rim. Inbounds pass, almost stolen away, but controlled by South Plains. Less than a minute to go here in this first quarter.
South Plains needs a good look at the basket here as a nice little run by the Raiders. They want to get a good quality shot here.
Adamio out front will give it up to Schwartz. Brenda Schwartz in the ball game for the first time. Now comes to Fowles. Fowles with 3 seconds on the shot clock is off the rim. Raiders get the rebound, and Destiny McFall brings the ball back down the floor. 20 seconds to go here in this first quarter. 14-9. Northwest Florida State lead, 10 seconds to go in the quarter. McFall will back up, put up the three-pointer off the glass, no good. Follow-up rebound is good by Kyla McBride. So McBride gets the shot just before the buzzer, and for Northwest Florida State, 16-9 lead at the end of the first quarter.
Wow, that's a great end to that quarter. And they've also extended great defense to hold South Plains to only 9 under double digits here. So at the end of one, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back, with the second right after this on the Cardinal Sports Network.
Finding success in life is a journey. Whatever road you're on, take the next step at Trinity Valley Community College. Whether you want to get new job skills, work toward a degree, or just take classes for fun, TVCC can design a plan just for you. As an Aspen Prize Top 150 U.S. Community College, TVCC in Athens, Kaufman, Palestine, and Terrell delivers a quality, affordable education, and financial aid is available. Visit us at tvcc.edu.
At First State Bank, we like to say we're big enough to help, small enough to care. Our communities and the families and businesses within them are what have mattered most to us for decades. Since 1935, our commitment has been to not only support local, but to foster growth for generations to come. We've given back to organizations that help our community thrive, and with 6 convenient locations, we continue to do our part in serving you, our communities, our businesses, our families.
Step up to the block and tackle the Mac Stack, a Dickey's barbecue pit game changer. Our signature mac and cheese topped with Dickey's quality slow smoked meats, and Dickey's delivers just in time for kickoff. Visit Dickeys.com, legit Texas barbecue.
Second, it is 16-9 Northwest Florida State leading over South Plains.
Well, and another shot from way outside. Was that Davis again?
Yeah, she's feeling it too. It's the hot pink shoes, man.
There you go.
That's worth a 3 any day of the week.
Got to give me some of those. Here's a baseline jump shot up and good by Aguego for South Plains.
Nice
Her first
baseline.
basket of the game.
Good control on that baseline, and then turns around and knocks it down. Good job.
There's Blackwell out front for Northwest Florida State Raiders. Driving, block shot. Nicely done there by Silva.
Using all 6'4" of that frame. Sophomore coming up big in the paint.
9 minutes to go here in this first half. South Plains basketball, bounce pass down low to Silva, kicks it back outside to Fowles, and Fowles has no problem letting it fly from 3-point range, but shot no good this time. Ball ends up going out of bounds, last touched by Northwest Florida State Raiders.
Yeah, Chase giving chase there, just comes up empty on that sideline and gives the effort, but not able to control it. So off of the Raiders, it'll be South Plains basketball.
In 1911, Northwest Florida State leads it. South Plains basketball. Blackwell out at midcourt. Passes far corner to Jaramillo. Back out to Blackwell. Fouls. Trying to squeeze a pass down low to Blackwell. Is stolen away by Northwest Florida State. Raiders back down the floor. Here's a shot again from way outside for Davis. It's up and good again for 3. 4 threes for Davis in the first half. And Batten is going to call for a timeout over here at the South Plains bench.
Yeah, he's like, we got to get someone to cover number 1. If you haven't seen her, she's the one hitting all the threes.
Might want to get somebody in her face. 22-11 our score. So here's my deal with Northwest Florida State. Yeah. And this is where it was like a wow moment. Like I said, 2 years ago, they came to Panola College for an event, and they had come to Panola straight from a game they had played in Mississippi. Oh. Well, a fight had broke out in that game in Mississippi, and so Northwest Florida State trotted their happy selves onto the court with 7 players.
That's a long afternoon.
2 games, 2 days, 2 days, 2 games, 7 players. Not only, and this was 7 basically bench players, 2 starters and the rest of them off the bench.
Wow.
Not only did they win those 2 games, they won them convincingly.
That's when you start going, yeah, they got some depth.
And that's when Coach Walker told me, oh yeah, my best players are out on the bus.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to play today.
They're not going to be suiting them up for after that. Wow, that does speak to the depth of quality program.
Yep. And here for North Plains, or for South Plains, nicely done. Trying to put them in a different geographic region. Jennifer Silva with the basket.
Miles Pennington showing his skill set, coming through clutch on the monitor save.
Wow.
He does it all.
He does more than just lunch, huh?
I'm telling you, man. One of the best.
Very good. Northwest Florida State basketball.
Yep.
Raiders passing it around the perimeter and all over the place. Shot no good. Silva with the rebound for South Plains.
Impressed with Silva. She's really good with her feet down in the paint, man. Just blocking out, gets to a lot of loose balls.
Raiders lead this ball game 22-13.
Oop.
Raiders with a steal. Shot, no good. Fouls with the rebound. Did not foul, but she got the rebound. Silva underneath goes up for the shot, no good. Can't get her rebound. Ends up going to the hands of Northwest Florida State. Raiders quickly back down the floor. McFall, one of their returning sophomores from last year's championship team. Passes back out front to Davis, back to McFall. Well, along the baseline there, Celia Rivera was going toward the basket. Pass went over her head out of bounds.
Davis has had a great first half here, and moments ago she was slow to get up on the other end. Wasn't an injury issue. Foot came out of the shoe, and so she got the foot back in and then was able to hustle back down the floor. But now she, as I say that, she's grabbing her left hip, so maybe she was banged up a little bit on it, but the shoe did come off. She got it back on and didn't have to step out of the game for
6:35 to go here, first half. Silva will get the ball over here to Blackwell. Back out front to Jaramillo, and Jaramillo shot for three is up and good.
That's a clutch shot there, and they needed that. Pulls them back within 6.
22-16 score, 6:15 to go here, first half. Raiders with the basketball. Nice pass, shot off the mark from Rivera. Jaramillo will take the ball back down the floor as Era Batten, the fourth-year head coach at South Plains, will walk up and down the floor and yell out instructions at the free throw line. Shot no good for fouls. Rebound going to be tracked down in the corner by Northwest Florida State. Raiders back down the floor. Fingertip roll on the shot for Destiny McFall. And it's kind of like one of those things where the harder South Plains is trying, the further they find themselves behind.
Well, that's a tough afternoon when you're having that happen to you. Going back to Davis, she's continuing to grab that left side, so we'll keep an eye on her for that because she's definitely in some pain.
Here's a rebound off a missed shot for Northwest Florida State, but they give it right back to South Plains at midcourt. Fouls outside, far side of the floor. Shot no good for Blackwell. On the backside.
Laboring out there on the floor. They're going to get somebody in for Davis. And so checking in will be Nevaeh Scott out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Foul called on Davis. That is her first. 5:03 to go here in this first half. South Plains basketball. Lady Texans look to throw it inbounds, and the inbounds pass almost stolen away by Northwest Florida State. Now bodies on the floor. Raiders come up with it. Bring it back down the floor quickly. Out front, Rivera passes left side of the floor, gets a pass in return. Nice bounce pass in the lane, broken up and taken away by Jaramillo. Passes ahead to a teammate that is going up for a shot, and that's Yendri Acosta. And Acosta can't get the shot to fall, but she's fouled by Nevaeh Scott.
Great balance, and gathered herself in the air. Almost got it to fall, but does draw contact. So going to the free throw line, and a chance to keep this thing moving forward.
Acosta, 44% from the free throw line. She averages right at 4 points a ball game. It's the first free throw to go for her. Second shot no good. Whistle blows right there at the attempted rebound.
So when you're trailing to the defending national champion, the last thing you can do is miss free throws here. You want to crawling back in, fighting back in, and chance to do that at the stripe, but not able to do so. It's one of two.
All right, so again, it's an early season for our officials as well. Called a foul on South Plains. The player that wasn't even on the floor, but got that corrected. Bella Belong got the foul called on her first. Here's South Plains, or Northwest Florida State. In the corner, Riviera down the baseline and takes it right down the baseline and lays it up and in.
Nice reverse layup there on the baseline move.
Coming up on 4 minutes to go here in this first half. Northwest Florida State showing a little bit of pressure, but South Plains breaks it, gets it across the midcourt line. Jaramillo has it out front, and she is about to get double teamed, but instead will get fouled. And that is going to be Celia Rivera on the foul, her first.
Yeah, she saw the double team coming. You're exactly right. She felt it, dribbled out of it, drew the contact, and was able to avoid a potential turnover situation.
3:50 to go here in this first half, 26-17. 9-point lead for Northwest Florida State. South Plains with the basketball. Jaramillo had a shot, declined it. Now will back up and take it. Off the rim, no good. Raiders with the rebound. And Raiders pushing the ball quickly back down the floor. Here's McFall. Nice pass that got away from her teammate in the lane. Davenport couldn't hang on to it. Ball ends up back in the hands of Navia Scott. Her shot no good, and Davenport ends up cleaning it up and getting the basket to go.
That's good clutch basketball down the stretch there, cleaning it up underneath. Approaching the 3-minute mark here in the first half.
28-17, Northwest Florida State Raiders. #1 team in the nation, defending national champs, lead the ball game. And the crazy thing is, as I look at them out on the floor, not anywhere near the size they had last year.
Yeah, they're a different team, aren't they? I mean, it's,
and I guess junior college, year to year, you're a different team.
That's true.
That's why it's so amazing, the schools like Northwest Florida State, Trinity Valley, those teams that are just annually good.
Yeah, those perennial powers, it's so much different than a 4-year because you're seeing a lot of, yeah, absolutely. So even the recruiting, all of that is even more so a challenge. But hats off to those schools that are able to pull it off because, like I said, not an easy task.
Brenda Schwartz hits the first free throw, has another one coming. And it's up and good. 2:55 to go here in this first half. 28-19. Northwest Florida State leads. Raiders in black. Shooting to the basket to the right, if you're viewing it. For me and Tim looking at it, basket to our left. In the lane, shot up and good. Davenport once again with the basket to go for her.
Yeah, Davenport making her presence known here.
See, now you and I, we probably both go back to the old press box hanging from the.
You remember that, do you?
Sure,
yeah,
done a many a game up there.
That's the old nest up top. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be doing that today with
yeah, but as a kid back in the mid '70s, that was a cool place to be.
It was a cool place.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I graduated from there. Then we had a few years back. We had the tower.
Yeah.
Right behind. Now, right here on. I think they're realizing these eyes are getting older and older. So let's get them closer and closer. A lot of improvements to Cardinal Gym over the last several years.
In the lane, getting a rebound, and the follow-up shot is Bella Belong. 30-21. 9-point Northwest Florida State lead. Minute 20 to go here in this first half.
Almost stood away. Good recovery, though.
And a shot from the far side of the floor. No good. A miss there by Nevaeh Scott. Coming back down the floor, Henry Acosta couldn't hang on to it for South Plains.
Tell you.
South Plains, Level Land, Texas.
Out in the Panhandle country. West Texas through and through. So
Just a minute to go here, first quarter or first half. For the Raiders of Northwest Florida State.
threw it
Bounce
away.
pass, stole it away. And this is going to be Oguego back down the floor. She lost control of it. No whistle before an attempted shot. Ball just ended up on the floor. Then we get mad scramble for it there. Was it the ever popular tie ball?
The whole tie ball, and it will remain South Plains possession.
40 seconds to go here in the first half. 24 seconds on the shot clock. As the Lady Texans will throw it in bounds.
Well, discussion out on the floor here between the officials, and they
Trying to figure out, was it a foul or was she out of bounds? Bart Walker says she was out of bounds when she caught the ball. Officials say, oh, there was a foul first, then she was out of bounds.
he is.
So Davenport will pick up the foul, her second and third. Now look at the scoreboard. And the scoreboard's always right, right?
Right,
Sure.
right. So inside the final moments here of this first half, it's a 9-point advantage for Northwest Florida State. South Plains trying to draw closer here at the stripe.
For South Plains, Yendri Acosta at the free throw line to shoot, and her first shot is no good.
Oh, that's just going to drive you crazy if you're trying to get back into it and coming up empty at the stripe. We've seen that quite a bit today. This is the third game of the Budke Serna tournament here. And
Yeah, early season struggles.
Yeah,
I guess if you're shooting free throws at a great pace this early in the season, that may not be a great thing. As Acosta gets a steal, back down the floor. Can't get the shot to fall. She will draw a foul with 24 seconds to go in the half, and Acosta will be back at the free throw line.
chance to go at it again. A little more repetition here in the final moments of this first half.
Makia Chase will pick up the foul. Mark Walker is telling the official, and look, we didn't drive all the way over here for you to call fouls with just a few seconds to go in the first half.
He's been pretty animated over the last 3 or 4 minutes, and of course he's very intense out there coaching and getting his squad to rally, but not pleased with that. For
Acosta
sure.
hits the first free throw, has another one coming. It's up and good as well. Yeah, Walker pretty intense, but very talkative guy. I'll admit, for Era Batten over here at the South Plains bench. I've tried to have a conversation with him a couple of times the last couple of years. Just before a game, he is very intense.
Yeah.
He is in the zone.
In that zone for real. Baseline.
Here's Northwest Florida State baseline shot up and good for Kyla McBride. That comes just before the buzzer, and we have come to halftime. It is Northwest Florida State Raiders 32, South Plains Lady Texans 23. Here at this Budke Serna Classic, Game 3 of Day 1 here at Trinity Valley in Athens.
Moving right along here. So as we look over the numbers going into the break, it's a 9-point deficit for South Plains. And Northwest.
For the first time today, we actually have a team, both teams ready for the next game that are going to warm up at halftime of this game.
Yeah, so we'll get ready to look forward to that one as well. A lot of great hoops going on here. It's the Budke Serna Thanksgiving Classic. You're seeing it and hearing it right here on the Cardinal Sports Network.
Our offense was dominating this year. Fast, powerful, virtually unstoppable. In fact, the only slow member of the team was me. When I was sidelined with ankle pain, it put the whole season at risk. So, just like when my players need the best care, I turned to a proven provider. Now, I'm back in the game.
Get the care you need at physician-owned Baylor Scott & White Texas Spine and Joint Hospital, or visit tsjh.org to find a specialist today.
Cowboy Headquarters is your one-stop shop destination in Athens. 80,000 square feet of awesome sitting on 25 acres with top brands for all your farm and ranch needs, including Prefer, Tartar, Steel, SMA, Bluebonnet, Equibrand, Trent Ward Saddlery, Professional's Choice. We have a Texas-size store with a Texas-size selection. Cowboy Headquarters just south of the Loop on Highway 19 in Athens. Cowboy Headquarters is a destination you don't want to miss. Shop online now at cowboyhq.com.
No one ever said you need to be sick to get better. That's why at Baylor Scott & White, we're innovating how people get well and stay that way. Where prevention might just be the prescription. Way to work. Teaching is on the treatment plan. And everyone is always on the same team. Yours. Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better.
That was amazing. Oh my God! CC immediately just having dominant control here.
Morning, Yelly.
Hey, Dr. Adams.
Well, you already beat cancer.
I did.
You've beaten the odds again.
I'm pregnant.
Congratulations.
I'm pregnant.
Everything's looking really good.
It's only getting better.
There's nothing quite like coming together over a fresh-cooked meal. Face to face, burger to burger, solving the world's problems over fries. There's also nothing like solving the problems right in front of you, like baseball practice, swim team, and getting your family's meals just like they like it, all with a few taps on your phone. Yeah, good thing there's more than one way to solve the world's problems. Good thing there's Whataburger.
Long before the craving hit you, when nothing else will do but Texas barbecue, we were way ahead of you. Dickey's Barbecue Pit satisfies your craving, delivered where you want it, when you want it. Order online or use our app. Dickey's delivers.
Would you look at that?
It's beautiful.
Wow.
It's our boy.
So proud.
Get 2 breakfast sandwiches like a sausage McMuffin with egg or a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit for just $5.
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Finding success in life is a journey. Whatever road you're on, take the next step at Trinity Valley Community College. Whether you want to get new job skills, work toward a degree, or just take classes for fun, TVCC can design a plan just for you. As an Aspen Prize Top 150 U.S. Community College, TVCC in Athens, Kaufman, Palestine, and Terrell delivers a quality, affordable education, and financial aid is available. Visit us at tvcc.edu.
At First State Bank, we like to say we're big enough to help, small enough to care. Our communities and the families and businesses within them are what have mattered most to us for decades. Since 1935, our commitment has been to not only support local, but to foster growth for generations to come. We've given back to organizations that help our community thrive, and with 6 convenient locations, we continue to do our part in serving you, our communities, our businesses, our families.
Step up to the block and tackle the Mac Stack, a Dickey's barbecue pit game changer. Our signature mac and cheese topped with Dickey's quality slow smoked meats, and Dickey's delivers just in time for kickoff. Visit Dickeys.com, legit Texas barbecue.
Here by the defending national champions.
Well, here in game number 3 of the day, the what did Jim Ross always say? Business is picking up.
Business is picking up, I see.
and so it certainly has here in game 3. Northwest Florida State leading it over South Plains 32-23 at halftime. Of course, the Raiders defending the national champs, #1 in the nation. But this is just game 3. There's a 4th game to come here shortly, and then another game after that. We had both teams for our next contest actually got here. We're in a rhythm now as they were able to get here and be dressed out and ready to warm up at halftime of this ball game. Got Angelina and Three Rivers coming up in a later contest. Tim, you know Three Rivers mascot?
I was going to let you tell me that.
It will be our second game in a row where the Raiders are on the floor.
Raiders are back.
Yeah.
Back to back. As speaking back to back, Northwest Florida State would love to repeat come March. And a lot of schools will try to have something to say about that.
Here's South Plains, a shot up, no good for Sharia Fowles. Ball ends up going out of bounds. And, you know, this year for NJCAA, Division I national champions will be crowned in a different location.
Tell us more.
I'll have to get with Bart Walker, head coach of Northwest Florida State, on this. As he won the last championship at this point in time to be crowned out in Lubbock. If he wants to win this coming season, or at the end of this season, he will have to take his ladies to Casper, Wyoming.
Yeah, and for years they had the tournament there in Kansas, Salina, Kansas.
Shot up
then
and good for
to Lubbock.
Celia Rivera.
Going out to Casper, so.
Yeah, a little double dribble there against South Plains. As Fowles held on to it with two hands for an instant.
Yeah, Casper, Wyoming.
Casper, Wyoming, the hotbed of NJCAA action.
And I was going to say, that's the only hot that'll be happening that time of year. It's going to be cold out there.
Well, apparently a beautiful facility there, though.
Gorgeous facility. They're not playing outside, Tim.
No, it's not ice hockey, that's for sure.
Important here for the Lady Texans to get something going in their direction here and kind of get this back in their realm.
Well, they'll take that step from Northwest Florida State as McFall took a little stutter step. But the Raiders showing some full court trap. South Plains doesn't want to see that, but they have the height to get over it. Here's Silva, low post, turns, shot, missed everything. Second attempt, also no good from Acosta. And the Raiders will bring it quickly back down the floor. That's one thing about it, tempo, tempo, tempo. A little bit of a walk there. No call. McFall outside.
Yeah, Acosta had a easy opportunity. They needed that one on the other end.
Ball ended up right in the hands of Kyla McBride underneath the basket. She couldn't get the shot to go.
It's been a tough start here for both these squads in this opening moments of the third.
In South Plains, very much a height advantage, but so far have not been able to put that to use. You're looking at Fowles and Silva both on the floor right now. Fowles, she will drive, goes up for a shot, and this could go either way. It's going to be a foul on Kyla McBride for Northwest Florida State, her first.
Out of Magnolia, Arkansas, and boy, when she came down, it was like watching a big old tree, timber. I mean, she you're right, it could have gone either way. And fortunately, she doesn't pick up a foul there and draw the charge.
So it's going to put Fowles at the free throw line, and her first shot is no good. 58% from the line. Here's Fowles averaging 6 points a ball game. Second shot on the way. This one's in and out, no good as well.
Oh boy, it's a tough day at the office, at least at the free throw line.
34-23 our score. Ball ends up going out of bounds. Tied twice in the first half of the game at 2 apiece and 9 apiece. After that, it's been all Northwest Florida State. Had that one lead change, and once the Raiders took the lead, they have kept the lead. 16-9 first quarter, 32-23 at halftime, 34-23 now.
Yeah, this is a dangerous part of this ball game here. The Lady Texans really have got to put the clamps on defensively and get some offense going, because this one is starting to get away from them.
McFall hits 1 of 2 from the free throw line, so 35-23 score. Here's South Plains back down the floor. Silva driving down the lanes. Underhand scoop shot, nicely done by Jennifer Silva.
Perfectly executed. You get the almost a mini fast break, if you will. They beat the pressure out top and then drive to the basket.
Now inside the lane, going up for the shot. It's going to be a foul on Isabella Jaramillo. So Jaramillo will pick up the foul, her second.
Back to the free throw line here. See if the Raiders can put some distance here at the stripe.
Deborah Davenport back in the ball game, puts up the shot, no good, off the back of the rim. All right, so I'm just going to have to stick around the rest of the day because I want to see Trinity Valley tonight. It's their gym. Can they hit a free throw here?
I think they can, and if they don't, I think that Coach Precious Ivy will have them out here shooting all night long in the free throws.
Davenport hits 1 of 2. In South Plains, ball movement. Jaramillo jacks it up from way outside. Rivera with the rebound underneath the basket. And as she tries to get away from the basket, a foul is going to be called on Jennifer Silva.
Yeah, Silva picking up the foul here. 6:51 to go in the third. South Plains, they could make a nice run to finish out this third quarter. Go a long way to help them in the fourth.
Yeah, they really need to make a move here pretty soon if they're going to, though.
Yep.
South Plains is zone defense. Again, that gets back to their size underneath, so it's better for them to do the zone, and they are, but Northwest Florida State still able to penetrate underneath the basket, but couldn't get a shot to go for them.
As you're talking about the height, the smallest player on the floor is knifed in between. She used her quicks to get the rebound, but then the height came through on a block underneath as well. But and that how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Just looking at it on paper, like no way. But never underestimate the heart of a finisher. There, she got the rebound, just couldn't get the putback.
Deborah Davenport's going to be called for the foul for Northwest Florida State. That is her fourth.
Gotta
So
be
she
careful.
will have to check out.
Well, there's a long way to go still in the third, too, and she's already picked up that fourth foul, so one more and she'd be done for the day, so she'll have to sit for a considerable length of time, you would think.
Inbounds pass for,
Looked like
inbounds pass for South Plains.
I think it hit Silva on the back as she deflected off her hand.
Well, it must have happened fast because I didn't see it.
Look,
Official was very emphatic of the call.
I think that's what she saw. I mean, I looked and I thought it got a little hand and then went off of her back as it was going out of bounds.
Well, Northwest Florida State basketball. Cross-court pass, driving, baseline, shot up and good for Davis? No,
Number
McFall.
Yeah, McFall.
Again, in case you missed it in the first half, the ever-popular black numerals on black jerseys for Northwest Florida State.
Your favorite, absolute favorite.
Soon to be. They're not right this moment, but they will be after the end of the fourth quarter.
Let's see what you did there. Backing her down, but thought we were going to get steps. Foul before that.
Underneath the basket, it is going to be a foul called on Chisholm Oguego, her second.
Wholesale substitutions there. As 4 new players checking into the ball game.
Bounce pass, Northwest Florida State basketball. Revere along the baseline, and she gets the underneath the basket shot to go for her. Had just the right angle on it.
Yeah, really difficult shot there, doing that, balancing the tightrope. No extra step there.
Well, whistle blows and a timeout taken by Era Batten over here at the South Plains bench. 5:07 to go here in this third quarter. 40-25. South Plains has only scored 2 points in this third quarter.
That's second time in a row we've had a team come out in the third and not able to execute. So 5:07 to go. They're going to have to figure it out over on the South Plains sideline. They'll try and do it during this timeout here. as you look things over, Northwest Florida State, they come in, the Raiders, with a 6-0 mark. Coach Walker has his team playing well in the early going here, defending that national championship from last year. And South Plains coming in, as we mentioned earlier, 3-4 on the early season. Get a chance to look at that replay just moments ago, the reverse layup, and you really get a chance to see her kind of tight roping that baseline and making her way down and putting it up through. So they got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball here. We're going to see it executed here this afternoon.
Yeah. Speaking of the fact of these teams here in this classic, they see each other quite a bit. South Plains, for example, last game they played prior to this one was a 73-57 loss to Trinity Valley. Prior to that, they defeated Panola 61-58. Prior to that, they defeated Hill 75-62. Of course, all of those three teams here at the Classic. For South Plains, they'll be taking on Angelina tomorrow. So South Plains will get their fill of Region 14 teams this weekend.
We're going to see a lot of it, aren't they? Back to action here in the third, inside 5 minutes to go.
40-25, Northwest Florida State leads it as the Raiders have the basketball. Pass underneath, now back outside. Now Revere on the baseline, and her shot is up and good. So Celia Revere out of France got kind of slow start, it seemed like, but she's playing quite well now.
Goodness.
Steal, layup for Kyla McBride.
Kyla too much on that front end of the press. A scoop and score, if you will.
Here's South Plains. Acosta in the left corner trying to work against Revere, and that's a tough thing to ask for. But underneath the basket, Bella Belong ended up getting it in her hands and lays it up and in.
Well, Bella knew exactly what to do, attacking the basket once she got that ball. Gets the bucket.
44-27. Northwest Florida State lead and the basketball. Here's a shot from way outside, up and good for three for Destiny McFall.
McFall putting a nice touch on it, extends that lead to 20.
8 points to the ball game for McFall, as again, here's Northwest Florida State with a full court trap that you would think South Plains could break easily, but it's been a struggle every time down the floor. But Belong is able to finish it off and get a layup there.
Yeah, Raiders really closed out fast on that. Looked like it's going to be an easy bucket, but they made her work on that end after they got past the initial press.
Revere looking down low, trying to get a lob pass down underneath the basket to McBride, but taken away by South Plains. Jaramillo pushes it ahead to Acosta, back to Jaramillo at midcourt. Now fouls underneath the basket. Good ball movement there for South Plains. Ends up to Belong once again, and for Belong, she has 10 points in the game.
Fouls to Belong. That was really good awareness, good vision. Found her, and she delivered.
Now again, McBride shot from way outside, no good. Rebound for South Plains. Jaramillo back down the floor, looking for a screen from Fouls, gets it. Jaramillo around the left side of the lane. Her shot no good. Belong has come on strong here in the second half. She has 2 points at halftime.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Buckets for her.
10 points just here in the third quarter. Shot no good from outside for Northwest Florida State. 47-33. Here comes South Plains back down the lane. Again, it's going to be Belong, and Belong lays it up and in.
Well, I tell you what, South Plains has the Northwest Florida State Raiders kind of on their heels right now, and they haven't helped themselves forcing up shots.
And another shot up, no good. Another rebound for South Plains. South Plains has found kind of a formula. Let's see if they go back to it again. Jaramillo in the lane, getting it to Belong. She goes up for the shot, and this time is fouled by Micaiah Chase.
Belong's been a difference maker down the stretch here. She'll go to the free throw line and have a chance to get within 10 here on a nice run.
Another timeout here on the floor. 47-35. Northwest Florida State leads it. It just feels like they haven't scored in a while.
Yeah, they haven't. They have not. And Coach Walker is letting his team know about it. He's like, specifically, I'm not real happy right now the way that we're taking shots and not getting a good look at the basket. So now he's going to talk to his squad a little bit here and try and he's pointing at the scoreboard. Exactly what we're talking about. It's a 12-point game. They got a chance to cut it to 10. We were up 22 just moments ago. Forcing shots is not the way to go, though.
Well, true, but then it's fascinating how South Plains all of a sudden the ability and the option of getting the ball to belong underneath the basket has become a thing, and they're going to do it every time.
It's fashionable.
And they're doing it every time they come down the floor, and it's working for them.
Yeah, getting to see her in some of her highlight reel. She's like, I don't need, 6 months of basketball. Just give me 6 minutes, and I'll put together a highlight reel. She's had a few back to. In fact, she's scored 10 of the last 12 points on this run for the South Plains Lady Texans. So, minute 29 to go here in the third. We're just talking about moments ago. You got to finish out quarters and start the second half so strong. It can make or break you. And to the Lady Texans' credit, they have made the most of closing this quarter out. And Coach Walker's saying, "Hey, there's still minute 29 to go. Let's take care of business and get that lead back to a little more comfortable range."
And I'm sure for Era Batten over at the South Plains bench, he's just glad to see his team. Okay, fine. So you're playing the champs. You're playing the #1 team in the nation. We're pretty good ourselves.
Absolutely.
So we've got the talent to get back in this game, and he's got to be glad to see them responding.
It's that one to go.
So belong at the free throw line. Shot up and good. That's her first free throw of the day. He's a 30% free throw shooter. Okay, there's another one coming. That's up and good as well.
10-point ball game. Minute and a half left in the third.
1:25 to go here. 37-47. Northwest Florida State leads by 10. Shot from outside. Bounces high off the rim. No good. Off the miss from Jayla Davis, who was hot as she could be in the first half. Has cooled off here as that ball ends up going out of bounds. Last touched by McFall. And it'll be South Plains basketball. Adamio back out front here. Maya Woodson in the ball game now for South Plains as driving the lane. Oguego. Shot no good, but she's fouled by Stephanie Mosley.
Now wait, did you say Oguego shot that one and it wasn't belonging? Because I belong.
I know. Something has gone haywire with the game plan here.
A good drive to the basket, draws the foul. It gets that one to go. They're clawing their way back in it here.
Oguego's first free throw is up and good.
And again, you love to see that. The test your metal kind of moment, see how they respond. And they're battling.
Second free throw, no good. Raiders back down the floor. It just seems like Northwest Florida State hadn't scored in a while. Mosley down the baseline. Her short shot comes up short. And again, it's going to be a foul underneath the basket, trying to go for a loose ball.
Yeah, and that's going to be free throws on the other end. So that's big. That's fifth foul. So not only is it free throws, but just foul down the ball game, I believe.
Goodness. So if that is the case, Davenport picks up number 5 on her.
The 6'2" forward is going to be done for the day.
5 points in the ball game today.
So coming in to take her spot will be McBride. Kyla McBride from Magnolia, Arkansas, checking in. And Acosta at the strike. Comes up empty there. Still second one to go.
Acosta's second shot is up and good.
Acosta get a little breather here at the 32-second mark, and then the end of the quarter, that'll help get her a little.
Blackwell will check back in. 30 seconds here in the third quarter. Northwest Florida State with the ball. Davis out front will give it off to McFall.
A 1 second difference in the shot clock and the game clock.
8 seconds on that shot clock, and now a foul is going to be called on Jaramillo. Batten not thrilled at all with that call.
That's going to put them into the bonus here for a free throw opportunity. Missed on the free throw. So
no good, yeah. McFall, and for McFall, my goodness, coming into the ball game, she was a 100% free throw shooter. So that's her first miss of the season.
There's 1 or 2 there. They'll get a good opportunity, you would think. 7 seconds right at 6.9 on the clock here to end this quarter.
Of course, Northwest Florida State going to show full court press. South Plains got to break it, bring it quickly down the floor. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Pass here on the near side, and the shot was partially blocked, and the shot taken by Debria Blackwell. So at the end of 3 quarters, it is Northwest Florida State leading this thing still, but you want to say barely, even though they have a decent lead here, but it just feels like the momentum has kind of shifted a little bit. 48-39 is our score. Northwest Florida State over South Plains at the end of 3.
Take a 30-second timeout. Come back with the fourth after this on the Cardinal Sports Network.
Morning, Yelly.
Hey, Dr. Adams.
Well, you already beat cancer.
I did.
You've beaten the odds again.
I'm pregnant.
Congratulations.
I'm pregnant.
Everything's looking really good.
It's only getting better.
And welcome back. We are set to start the fourth quarter right here at the Budke Serna Classic. It is happening today and tomorrow. 10 games over 2 days, and in game 3 right now, we start the fourth quarter here, and looking forward to it. Let's get back to the play-by-play with Mark McClain.
48-39, Northwest Florida State lead. South Plains basketball. Lady Texans in the white uniforms with the blue numerals and the red or orangish trim, and stepping on the sideline is South Plains over on the far side.
Well, that's not how they wanted to start that fourth. They had a chance to get even closer here.
Yeah.
A little turnover.
Northwest Florida State, be interesting to see, you know, as the #1 team in the nation, as the defending champions, do you start the fourth quarter by by exerting your force and just taking over a ball game? A lot of times that happens. I've seen Trinity Valley do it a lot of times.
Yeah, there's back-to-back turnovers here on South Plains. Getting a foul here.
Foul's going to be called on Jennifer Silva.
So as the Raiders will get their second possession here, see if they can get something moving in their direction this time around.
Again, for Northwest Florida State, not a real big lineup, so they kind of relying on quickness and outside shooting ability and that sort of thing. But you get Kyla McBride loose underneath the basket, gets a nice assist from Revere.
Yeah, Revere just threads the needle there and gets it to her on the block.
Now shot from way outside for Silva, of all people. My goodness.
Jennifer
Silva with a three-pointer.
6'4". Dropped that through. Hit a couple of big shots like that this afternoon.
50-42. Raiders lead. Raiders behind or back behind your head type shot there for McBride. It is up and good.
Yeah,
Revere had one earlier. McBride does it here.
Yeah, that was one of those horse shots that used to play in the driveway as a kid growing up. So 10-point lead here with 8:27 to go in the ball game here. South Plains talking it over here, as are the Northwest Florida State Raiders. You mentioned the defending national champion here. And, well, they look good. They look like they could make another run again this year. Obviously, defending that title, they're going to be tough to deal with.
I think, though, you know, just in looking at them again, they're so
not a lot of height.
No, they don't have the height that they had last year, and so if they are going to return to the national tournament, and if they do indeed end up repeating as champions, it's going to take a lot of hard work because the small ball, quick. They're small and quick, but they're going to have to work hard for every win they get.
Yeah, as you alluded to earlier, so every year in JUCO, especially, it's a, you know, you've got a lot of new bodies on the floor, and you got to continually be adjusting. And so far, so good. They're you know, 6-0 and have shown some flashes of greatness, but on the other hand, they've had moments where they just kind of, I think, missed the mark there on what they wanted to do. And Coach Walker, to his credit, was quick to point it out.
Yeah. Well, we get going again here. 8:13 to go here in the fourth, as a shot put up by Fowles is no good. Offensive rebound for South Plains. So Guego gets it all the way back out to midcourt to Jaramillo. Setups offensively. Jaramillo stops at just outside the free throw lane area. Shot no good. Ball lost by Revere. Here's South Plains once again. Silva on the baseline. Will work against Revere herself. Turns, puts up the shot, no good. Revere trying to draw a foul, doesn't get it. And here comes Northwest Florida State quickly back down the floor. Kyla McBride lays it up and in. Now, with the smaller lineup, press, fast break, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Coach Walker will do that as much as he can.
Yeah, when you can have that pinpoint passing down the floor like that, it makes things a lot easier. We just saw it on the other end. They're a perfect example. 2 passes and a bucket. But as you consider, you know, Rivera, 6'3", she's not really real tall, but her frame is going to be tough to work around between her and you know, the way they will fill out that lane.
Yeah.
So they're definitely a different style or different length this year.
Yep. Bounce pass goes down low to McBride. McBride averaging just over 5 points a ball game. She has 14.
Quick timeout here, and they've extended that lead to 14 here. And 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here and just continue to talk about, you know, the tournament itself, what we're looking at coming up here at the Budke Serna Classic.
Again, this here is game 3. Game 4 of the day will be the Angelina Lady Roadrunners taking on the Three Rivers Community College Raiders out of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. I'm not sure if they have ever been to this classic before or not, but they're certainly here this year, and they come in here ranked number 11 in the nation at 6-1. Angelina, of course, one of the Region 14 schools out of Lufkin. Always a fine program there. And so that's the next game. And then the final game here of day 1 will put Trinity Valley against Hill. Always good when Athens and Hillsboro go at it with each other.
Should be a lot of fun this evening. Nightcap set for 7 o'clock tonight here in the Valley.
Here's South Plains with the basketball. Aguego over on the far side of the floor to Silva. Now fouls in the lane. Goes up with the shot. No foul called there.
Love Purefex gets the bucket and the assist on helping her off the floor. That was a pretty good flop right in front of her. I like the no call. Purefex puts it to, excuse me,
Northwest Florida State passing
fouls
around the perimeter. Rivera shot from short range, no good, but tracks down her own rebound. Back around the perimeter it comes to Mosley. Back out front to Davis. Now far side of the floor, back to Davis. Davis will drive. No shot there, so she gives it off. 3 seconds, 2 seconds on the shot clock. And the shot from Mosley, no good. South Plains got the rebound, but they were just kind of standing there with it. South Plains coaches encouraging them to get it back down the floor. Adamio outside shot. Off the rim, no good.
Just didn't have the target on there. Had the lift, but not the result.
Yep. 5:20 to go here in the fourth. 56-44. Northwest Florida State lead. McFall cross-court pass to Mosley. In the lane, changed hands with the ball. Put up a shot, that was no good, but a foul was called. Fouls. I believe that's her first of the game.
Yeah, just with 5:03 to go in the fourth, picks up that first foul of the contest. Costa back on the floor. And checking in here momentarily will be Schwartz.
So many times for your inside players, they're usually in foul trouble if going to be. But for fouls, that was her first foul of the game. Mosley at the line, missed the first shot. Takes her time at the line, and we'll get ready for the second shot. And it's up and good.
It's that one to fall. So back up to a 13-point advantage here for the Raiders. Alana back on the floor as well for the Lady Texans. Had some big success with her earlier in this half. See if they can get her back into the flow.
There's Acosta giving it off to Jaramillo. 4:50 to go here in the fourth. Acosta going down the right side of the lane. One official had one thing, and the other one might have had something else, but it ends up being a charging foul on Yendri Acosta.
Coach Madden, what a good guy. Caught the ball and then had to deliver it to the official, and while he was there, had a chance to discuss. You don't think that was an accident, do you? You pick up on those cool traits after a while. You get a chance to share your thoughts by handing the ball over. That could have very easily gone the other way for sure. Like you said, two different officials, two different calls.
Yep. So here's Northwest Florida State in the lane, down on the floor, ball all over the place. Arabatin is looking for a travel from the South Plains bench. Bart Walker's looking for a timeout on the Northwest Florida State bench, and Coach Walker gets the timeout. 57-44 our score here in this fourth quarter. In South Plains, looking at going 3-5 on the season if they don't come up with a miracle here in the next little bit.
And that record's going to be a little deceiving. I mean, they maybe have not put it all together yet, but they've definitely got some talent on that floor, and should be a tough squad all throughout the season.
Yeah, when it comes time for Region 5 play out in West Texas, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Of course, Northwest Florida State out of Region 8 in Niceville, Florida. They'll certainly be ready for their conference when time comes. Shot from way outside as we go back to play is no good. McFall gets the rebound. Brings it out to midcourt to run some clock. Now along the baseline. The charging foul is going to be charged to Kyla McBride. Coming up on 4 minutes to go here in the fourth. 57-44, Northwest Florida State leads. Fouls here on the near side of the floor. And so a foul is going to be called on McBride. Bart Walker making his feelings known from the Northwest Florida State bench.
Tell us how you really feel, Coach Walker. I don't know if you were clear enough on that one.
I think it has something to do with the coin flip.
Yeah, he was talking about the coin flip before the football game, I believe.
Well, loose ball taken up by Northwest Florida State. Raiders back down the floor. Leading 57-44, 3.5 to go. Pass going to be intercepted here for Brenda Schwartz. Schwartz gets the pass in return. Goes down low, and the shot is up and good for Bella Belong. There you go.
Yeah, Bella getting it done. Playing really well down low.
3 minutes to go now here in the fourth. And pretty much leaping into that one was McBride, but she does not pick up the foul. Right.
I think that's where Coach Walker influenced that call there, because there was a charge that they got away with.
So
11-point ball game here, 2:58 to go, and you're at the stripe, so your chance to really kind of cement things here if you hit them. If you start missing those free throws, different ball game down the stretch here. See what they do.
Well, here's McBride, another 100% free throw shooter, and her first shot is up and good. .258 to go here in the fourth. Next shot is up and good as well.
Big possession here, obviously, but down 12, you can't afford to go any farther. You want to start trimming in a hurry. It's dribbling.
Ball down low to Fouls. Her shot, no good. Got her own rebound. Looking for a teammate to pass it to. Finally does. Here's Acosta. She'll drive the lane, and Acosta gets a nice shot off.
Oh, she's in pain, though. Landed on that left ankle. Looked like she might have rolled it. She's in a lot of pain, though. You're making a change here momentarily at the 2:31 mark.
59-48. So for much of the game, got a little further apart at one point in time. It was 32-23 at halftime, but for the most part, been around that 10-15-point spread between the two.
Yeah, this has definitely been kind of that ebb and flow, back and forth, if you will. So stoppage of play here, say 10 to Acosta. Oh, she's not putting much on it, but is able to put a little pressure on it as she's able to walk it off. So hopefully she'll be able to get some ice on it. Maybe make it back tomorrow. Probably not, though. Boy, that looked like a pretty vicious sprain. Hopefully that's all it is, but those are slow to heal. We'll have to wait and see.
And for South Plains tomorrow, they will play Angelina at 3 tomorrow. 2:25 to go here in the fourth. Northwest Florida State basketball. McFall out front to McBride. Now Davis here on the near side. She was hot in the first half, been kind of quiet lately. Shot from outside, no good. South Plains with the rebound and the fast break back down the floor. Schwartz, Jaramillo, Aguego here in the near corner. Aguego shot in and out, no good. Ball out of bounds, and it'll be South Plains ball.
Well, Lady Texans got to get a bucket here. Preferably a nice little three would help things out for them here. Inside 2 minutes to go.
Bounce pass to Schwartz. Schwartz backs up, puts the shot in and out. A rebound for Northwest Florida State, but
foot on the line.
They're going to say that Makia Chase was out of bounds.
I think they said that foot was on the baseline. Not sure if we got a replay of that, but that's going to be South Plains basketball.
So Jaramillo will throw it inbounds to Schwartz out here in midcourt. Schwartz again will put up the shot from way outside. Again, it's no good. Raiders with the rebound. And for the Raiders, Makia Chase brings it back down the floor. Then lost control of it. Davis did over in the far corner underneath along the baseline as it ends up back down here in front of the South Plains bench. Here's Schwartz, cross court to Fowles. Fowles janks it up from way outside. That is no good. Rebound will come down to Revere. And we have a minute to go here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, up 11 here. So Northwest Florida State looks to remain perfect on the year. Up double digits. Just dribbling this one out as much as I can.
Yep, Raiders McFall has it. Now ends up over to the far corner. Back out to McFall at the buzzer, and they're going to count that as a three-point shot.
And Coach Walker's like, that's how we drew it up. You know, just take all 29.8 of that 30 and let it fly.
Buzzer goes off, and unlike the Paris game earlier where the shot was in the air when the buzzer went off, it didn't count.
Yep.
That one, I'm not so sure that shot was already in the air, but it counts.
33 seconds to go here in this third game of the afternoon at the Budke Serna Classic.
And looks like Marabatin is saying back up, back off. 13 seconds on the shot clock, 19 seconds on the game clock. So Northwest Florida State, either they will take a shot here or they will just let it run out and turn it over. Well, they take the shot. McFall's shot this time, no good. Rebound comes down to the Lady Texans, and they will be the ones to dribble it out. 62-48 is going to be your final score here this afternoon. In this game, here at the Budke Serna Classic, in our third game of the day. And Northwest Florida State Raiders, they go to 7-0 on the season with the 62-48 win. South Plains now 3-5 as we look ahead tomorrow. Northwest Florida State will take on Paris in the first game tomorrow at 11. And South Plains will play that third game tomorrow at 3 o'clock against Angelina. But entertaining ball game, 16-9 first quarter for Northwest Florida State. 32-23 at halftime, 48-39 third quarter, 62-48 ends up being our final score.
A lot of talent represented, two quality programs in that last game, and are going to have fantastic seasons, you would think, as they near regional play. So we'll look forward to the fourth of 5 today. Again, it's 10 games overall in the Serna Budke, the Budke Serna Classic. So glad to have you along here as we continue on from Trinity Valley in Athens, Texas. Game 4 coming up after this on the Cardinal Sports Network.